So hello and welcome to Mixologist, the place on the internet thingy where we finally get to place with some really nice, well set up stuff. Case in point, this unit's here. This is our set of 45 DCOE Webers, and not only that, they are set up on a vintage race car. They came straight from a race car. This is a client that sent me this units for refurbishment, and I'm gonna tell you why I already like these units, even though if you look at them, they're not much to look at, but actually these units are really well set up. And let me show you why, all the elements that make me say that. Let's start with the obvious. Made in Italy. Yeah, I like that. That's a win. That's a win already. So as I said, these are 45s. You can see it there. It's a bit greasy, but let's run through the elements that make this setup really good. First of all, a very good solid linkage, yeah, between the bits here and here for the accelerator. Here comes the cable goes here and it actuates like so. Good return springs as well, this always helps. The fact that all the carbs have trumpets, this is really good, proper setup. This is how the carbs should be. As you can see, there's quite a fair little bit of kind of grease in them, but that's fine. That would all come out in the wash. Now, another important detail, this kind of anti-vibration Mesa plates, these are very needed. And this as well, this is a plate that has probably 2 O-rings, one on each side. We're gonna check what's the status of them, but this thing, it's really nicely set up. And as you can see, this is for a kind of Ford kind of 1.6 engine, and as you can see, these ports are quite big. I mean, maybe the engine might need a little bit of port matching here, 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 and here. But other than that, this manifold looks to be in really good shape. Obviously, we're gonna clean it up real nice, and so now what we're gonna do is we're going to start the disassembly process of this unit, and we're going to start disassembly, cleaning, and rebuild, hopefully. Do you know, one of the limitations that YouTube has as a media of communication, dare I say, is the fact that I cannot transmit smell. I can only transmit sounds and images, obviously. But the smell in this is just absolutely overpowering. It's like opening an entire can of varnish and just start smelling that. It's terrible. But apart from that, it's the only problem that this unit have. Okay, and here you can see at the bottom of this kind of bottom cover, you can see all of this. This is a whole lot of, you know, sediment and varnish that obviously accumulated from the last time this unit was run. You can see it. You can see it there as well. But apart from that, everything it's fine. One thing that I did that is quite important, as I'm going to show you with this, is that before I take off the throttles, what I've done is I went with number punches. This is number 1 and corresponds here, and I put a number 1 in there as well. So I know that this throttle plate came from this hole, and subsequently 2 with 2, and 3 with 3 and 4 with 4. You get the deal. But actually this is very important, so that I know that I'm going to rebuild the carb exactly as it came to me. That's going to make it easier. And also, I don't know if you could see it here. In here I've also punched a 5, and I've also punched a 5 here. Yeah, so this tells me exactly the location, which carb had the throttle or not. So I'm gonna build it exactly as it came to me, because that is quite important. On other news, I mean, these things are gonna need new O-rings, because these O-rings are looking a little bit tired. So this is gonna have to be replaced. These O-rings are, they basically outlive their usefulness. But actually the spacer is okay. This can be reused if I put new O-rings on, that is. What else? And the floats seem to be in reasonable shape. One important thing that you need to do is you always need to take a note of this number, which is 225, because I need to basically replace the fuel inlet, the needle and seat, with the exact same code, number, which is 225 in this particular case. So what I need to do is I need to start kind of taking this out, and so let's just start cleaning all this up and getting all the varnish out. See if we can first of all I'm gonna have to take the throttles and the throttle shafts, but that's gonna take a few minutes. Okay, so it's several days later after the last section, and what you can see now is me getting ready to kind of slam these units together. And essentially what I got here is literally every single part that I need to put these units back together. And the reason why I laid them out like this is because it is number 1. It is a final check that I've got all the parts that are required, to build a unit. Check that all the parts are clean. So I've got them here. I can see them all in front of me, and they're good to go. And 3, it helps me. It helps when I'm putting the unit back together, because I like to just when I put it together, you're gonna see it in the next section. I like to just like slam it together in one go. So I don't want to be like hunting around for parts on the workshop and that kind of stuff. No, I want to have everything in front of me right now. So let me give you a little bit of a tour what we got going on. Okay, so one thing I try to do is I try to put parts that belong together. So these are the covers, these are the gaskets, this is all the fuel inlet side, then I've got all the hardware, these are the accelerator pumps, the covers, the progression hole covers, all of the jettings. This is part of the choke. In reality it should go around here because they belong together. I've got the accelerator pumps as well, pistons, I've got those things for the trumpets, I've got all of the auxiliary Venturis chokes, the trumpets, they all go together. As you can see, here is the manifold. I've already done the laying out of the of this part. I've got the miss-up plates, and I've got the 2 other bits that go here and here. So everything is, I know everything is primo. I've got the fuel, I've got the floats ready to go. Obviously one thing I had to do off camera was kind of put this throttle plates, because this generally I tend to do it off camera. I tend to do it before, because this operation is quite fiddly and I need to kind of make sure that done right. So this is like a job that is done before, but then now I'm ready to start, you know, putting these units back together relatively quickly. But it comes after a lot of work, or cleaning the parts, because you've seen that these parts were not in great shape, but also laying them out like this makes you kind of conscious of all the bits that you need to get done, and once you're ready to do them, then you can do it relatively quickly. So that's kind of one of my top tips to put these units back together. Always lay them out if you can like this, so that you know you're good to proceed. Okay, so what we got here now is kind of phase 1 of 2. So we got these units dialed in together, and actually they look really. Look at this. I mean, it seems crazy to think that these were the same units that came, but actually they are. So obviously they're now done. What I want to do now next is kind of set them on the manifold, and the last thing I do is the trumpets, because the trumpets tend to be quite delicate things, so it's probably better to leave them for the last minute. But we're in a good place now. Wow. So we're here at the end of the project, and I have to say, even if I say so myself, this turned out to be mint. This set of carbs, I really like it. I'll let you kind of see them in their full glory now. So obviously this is the front. Now the linkage has been done. I fixed this thing. I put the springs on both sides, because I think that was, you know, a bit goofy before. This is how it looks like on the back, so it's really ready to go. Obviously all the hoses and stuff that came with the car, I just chucked them in the bin. You need to do new ones. And obviously how it looks like on the other side. The new hardware always brings the carb out a bit. I really like that little touch. So boom, done. So I want to say thank you for watching this episode. If you got any questions or comments, or if you want me to work on your units, send them my way. But other than that, thank you very much, and I'll see you next week. I've got a really good episode planned for next week. So see ya.